There are 10 things Toronto real estate agents say to buyers and sellers that are not true. Some of them are outdated, some of them are self-serving, and some of them are costing people tens of thousands of dollars. I know because I'm a Toronto agent. I hear agents say these things every week. I'm going to go through all 10. Some of these you heard before, but a few of them, especially towards the end, are the ones that most agents will never admit to. So let's go. Lie number 1, now is the best time to buy. This is the most common line in real estate. Agent says this in the seller's market. They say it even in a buyer's market. And they say it when rates are high. And they say it when rates are low. It never changes. The reason they say it because they earn a commission when you buy. So it is always a good time to buy from their perspective. But here's the reality. The right time to buy depends on your financial situation, your income, your savings, your debt, your timeline, not the market, not the interest rate, and not what your agent tells you over coffee. If someone tells you it's a great time to buy without looking at your numbers first, that person is selling you something. Lie number 2, we can price it higher and adjust later. This is what agents call buying a listing. They tell you your home is worth more than it is to win your business. Then once they have the listing, the price reductions start. The problem is that your first 2 to 3 weeks on the market or when you get the most attention. Every buyer who is actively searching in your area sees your listing the day it goes up. If you're overpriced, those buyers move on. They don't usually come back. By the time you reduce your price, your listing is stale. Buyers see the days on the market, they see the price reduction, and they assume something is wrong. In February 2026, the average days on market in the GTA was 54 days. That's the longest in over a decade. A large portion of those listings started overpriced and are now chasing the market down. Lie number 3, you need to offer over asking to win. This was true in 2021. It is mostly not true in 2026. Let me show you what is actually happening. In the spring of 2021, homes in Toronto sold for 10 to 12% over asking price. Bidding wars with 15 or 20 offers were normal. As of February 2026, the average sale to list ratio in the GTA is 97%. That means homes are selling 3% below asking, not above, below. The majority of the time, you do not need to bid over asking. Now, does this still happen? Yes. Some properties are still bait priced to create a bidding war. And sometimes a home is priced correctly, but it's rare. 3-bedroom, semi-detached, move-in ready, in a good neighborhood, nothing else like that on the market, that can still draw competing offers. But here's the thing, even when that happens, you're not bidding over asking, you're bidding where the market value is. You look at the comparables, look at recent sales. The list price is a marketing strategy. The market value is math. Your job is to know the math before you write an offer. The lie is when an agent tells you to bid over asking as a default. It is not. It's the exception. Lie number 4, skip the home inspection to make your offer stand out. During the bidding wars, a lot of buyers in Toronto were told to waive their home inspection and make their offer more competitive. I'll be direct. Telling a buyer to skip the inspection in a market like this is very irresponsible. In 2021, when there were 20 offers, you had 24 hours to decide. I understood the pressure. I didn't agree with it, but I understood it. In 2026, there's no reason to waive your inspection. You're not competing against 20 other offers. In most cases, you're the only offer. The seller needs you more than you need them. A home inspection costs about $500 to $1,000 depending on how deep you go. The problem it catches can cost you $50,000 to $100,000. An agent who tells you to skip it is prioritizing closing the deal over protecting your money. Lie number 5, bait pricing works. Bait pricing is when an agent lists a home significantly below market value to attract attention and trigger a bidding war. List at $799,000, hope to sell at just under $1 million. The only time bait pricing works in a seller's market, it's in a seller's market. And right now, one segment in Toronto is still a seller's market, semi-detached homes in certain neighborhoods. If the home is move-in ready, 3 bedrooms, has a lot of things buyers want, then there aren't many like it on the market. Bait pricing can still work. Those homes still draw competing offers. But in the rest of the market, it creates confusion. Buyers see the low price, they come to the showing, they realize the seller expects $200,000 more, they feel misled. They walk away. Or worse, they offer at the list price. The seller rejects it, listing sits, get listed at a higher price, now it looks like a failed sale. The sale to list ratio tells the whole story. Homes are selling below asking in most segments. The lie is when an agent used bait pricing as a default strategy across the board. It is not a strategy, it is a gamble. In a buyer's market, it's a gamble that usually loses. Lie number 6, pre-construction is a great investment. Pre-con condos in the GTA were the go-to investment for years, but at today's price, close in 4 years at a higher price. Pre-construction condos in the GTA were a go-to investment for years. By today's price, close in 4 years at a higher price and pocket depreciation. That playbook fell apart. Pre-con sales in the GTA dropped 60% from 2024 to 2025, the lowest since 1991. 28 condo projects with over 7,200 units were canceled last year. Buyers who purchased pre-con units in 2021 and 2022 at about $1,700 per square foot are now closing on units worth about $900 to $1,300 per square foot. That's a 20 to 40% loss before they even move in. And many of those buyers are investors who plan to rent the unit, but rents are falling. Vacancy is rising. The monthly carrying cost on a $600,000 condo exceeds what you can charge in rent by about $1,000 to $1,500 per month. An agent telling you pre-construction is a great investment in this market is not looking at the data. Lie number 7, renovations will pay for themselves. This is a dangerous one because it sounds reasonable. You spend $50K on a kitchen, your home is worth $50,000 more, right? Here's what the data actually shows. A small kitchen refresh, about $25K, returns about 113%. That makes money. A garage door replacement returns 268%. A steel entry door returns 216%. But a full luxury kitchen at $130,000 returns about 55%. You just lost $58,000. A bathroom total remodel returns about 65%. A basement finish returns 70%. Most of the renovations people spend big money on lose money at resale. The ones that make money are the small, high-impact projects that most people overlook. If an agent tells you to renovate before selling, ask them to show you the ROI data for the specific project. If they can't, they're guessing with your money. Here's lie number 8. The market is about to turn around. I hear this from agents at every open house, every broker meeting, every coffee shop conversation. Spring's coming. The market is going to turn. Nobody knows what the market is going to do. Not me. Not any other agent, not the economists at the banks. In early 2022, the consensus was that prices would keep rising. They dropped 20% within 6 months. In late 2023, consensus was that rate cuts would bring buyers flooding back. Prices continued to soften through all of 2024 and into 2025. JP Morgan forecast 0% price growth this year. Morgan Stanley says 2 to 3%. TD says 4%. The range is enormous. And these are the people with the most data and the most resources. If they can't agree, your agent doesn't know either. When an agent tells you the market is about to turn, they're either trying to get you to list now before it gets worse or trying to get you to buy now before it gets better. Both are sales tactics, not analysis. Lie number 9, you don't need 20% down without explaining what happens. This one is technically true. You don't need 20% down. You can buy with as little as 5% down on the first 500,000 and 10% on the rest. But the lie is what gets left out. If your down payment is less than 20%, you pay CMHC mortgage insurance. On a $1.2 million home without minimum down, that insurance premium is about $44K. It gets added to your mortgage. You're now paying interest on your insurance. You also qualify at a higher stress test case. You have a larger monthly payment and you start with less equity, which matters if the market drops. An agent tells you you don't need 20% down without walking you through the CMHC premium, the higher qualifying rate, and the equity risk is giving you half the information. Half the information can be more dangerous than none. Or the other option is that your agent just refers you to a mortgage broker or the bank to get all this information so you have the whole picture. That's another thing as well that they should be doing. Lie number 10, I have buyers for your home. This is one that most agents will never admit to. When an agent knocks on your door or sends you a letter saying, I have buyers looking for a home just like yours, they almost never have a specific buyer. What they have is a prospecting strategy to get your listing. Once they have your listing, the buyer disappears. Your home goes on the market the same way every other listing does. MLS, realtor.ca, showings, open houses. The other version of this is I can sell your home off market. What they usually mean is that they want to find a buyer within their own brokerage so they can collect both sides of the commission. That is not in your interest. That is in theirs. An off-market sale means fewer buyers see your home. Fewer buyers mean less competition, and less competition means a lower price. You save nothing. The agent earns more. If an agent tells you they have a buyer for your home, ask for the buyer's name and pre-approval letter. If they can't produce it, they don't have a buyer. They have a pitch. So these 10 things that agent says are not true. Some are outdated habits from a different market. Some are deliberate. All of them cost buyers and sellers money. The best protection you have is the data. If your agent can't show you the numbers to back up what they're telling you, find someone who can. Thanks again for watching. See you soon.